Welcome to the podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm Mae.
And I'm Max, and we were had.
Can you believe it?
There are twists and there are turns.
Defleshed is a standard death.
Oh, that's fun.
We were had.
We were.
All right, here we go, folks. This is a fun one. I'm expecting a couple of mean comments right off the bat. Usually we get being open-minded, even though Mae and I are two of the most open-minded people when it comes to this stuff.
True.
But anyway, and I notice how I said Mae and I.
When it comes to
Skeptic Joe over there.
When it comes to what stuff?
This paranormal.
The very real paranormal stuff we talk about on this podcast with a lot of great sightings and evidence that we
talk about what we
build our cases with.
With substance?
And certainty.
You're more open. I agree. I'm very close-minded.
All right. This week, are psychics real? Boom.
Okay.
Are
cool.
psychics real?
I'm going to confess that I've never been to a psychic. I feel like that is going to cloud my judgment. Because everyone who goes to a psychic comes out being like, oh, totally.
Or the opposite, where they come out and they're like, well, that was completely fucking wrong.
Okay.
And there were also the ones that are I'm pretty sure that was just a scammer because they were there's an S name and they guessed and that.
Right. Is it
we'll talk
Steven?
About it. Yeah.
Is he dead? Is he your great-grandfather?
Yeah.
It's everyone's great-grandfather is dead.
You're going through a lot of change right now.
I feel like I actually would be susceptible to that. If they did tell me something. Yeah. If they were just was your grandmother a woman? I'm like, what? Both were.
That's amazing. Okay. First off, what is a psychic? How about that? A psychic is a person who claims to use extrasensory perception, ESP, to identify information hidden from the normal senses, particularly involving telepathy or clairvoyance, or who performs acts that are apparently inexplicable by natural laws.
Can I ask you, is there a difference between a psychic and a clairvoyant, or is that a synonym?
That's actually a very good question, Mae. Thank you for asking that.
Pay attention, Ben.
What about an oracle? What about it?
That's actually a wonderful question as well.
Yeah.
So a clairvoyant is a part of the psychic community, but it's one of the different abilities. Not all psychics are clairvoyant, but all clairvoyants are psychics. To answer your question, an oracle, that's more of an olden time kind of term. That's once you leave this realm. That's a Middle Earth kind of thing.
I think an oracle might even be a god, might even be divine.
Yeah, it's the Greeks,
a dead person.
The Greeks used to go to the oracle virgin who would dance topless. I think that's just to move the 300 scene.
Yeah. It's just a strip club.
Yeah, they knew nothing.
I think there's one of those on 42nd Street.
Yeah. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go through psychics, the science behind it, skeptics, Benjamin.
Okay.
Actual science evidence. And
science, skeptics, and science.
And at the end there, I'm actually going to help you guys if you think that you could unlock your psychic abilities if you have them.
Do you think, do you get into some of the true crime stuff where a lot of murders have been solved?
Where they find the bodies and stuff? That's a good question, and I did leave that out.
All right. That would have been fun.
I think
what are we doing?
I'm going with a big picture here.
Okay.
But I do think I ponk into that. That's another topic. There's especially one woman who's found a bunch of bodies.
Right. We'll do a whole nother episode on that probably,
Yeah.
but that's so interesting where it's okay, lady, just tell us in fewer words that you're a serial killer.
You're doing the murders.
Yeah. It's so weird. I could see how they got killed.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's dirt on my hands I was there. Okay, so psychics are not magicians or supernatural beings. They are humans like you and I, okay? But they have been gifted with abilities and skills that many humans don't have.
And is there a way for them to, almost like a Star Wars-y thing, to...
access the Force?
Yes, work on it?
There's actually a thing where it's and I'll talk about it more later, you're more likely to get your abilities as a child, and then the world beats them out of you. But you can reactivate them. I guess psychics kind of.
You can go to an open mic for psychics.
You can go to
you can really build on that skill set,
Yeah, they get a little payover.
Actually, an open mic with psychics, even less weird people than open mics with comedians.
Right.
Less creepy.
There's a lot. Way less lying for some reason.
Funnier. Yeah. Definitely funnier.
Oh, God, that's funny. Okay, so a shocking amount of Americans believe in the paranormal and the psychics. You want to hear the numbers on this shit?
Yeah, let's hear it.
This is a graphic that I got off of livescience.com.
Okay.
So 71% of United States citizens have had a paranormal experience. They've said that.
71%?
71% of the population.
I would like to know how many of that population are also believers in a religion, because I feel like that's also
Yeah,
nonsensical.
What about the people that didn't, like 29% of them? Some of them were like, well, I've seen angels, but that's not. No, I've seen God stuff.
That is a really good point, though, because when you said 71%, I was shocked by it, but then mentioning religion, probably it's even higher numbers.
Yeah. I didn't realize how gullible people are.
Right.
So 34% of these people believe in the existence of ghosts. And again, by these people, I mean our entire country.
Okay. Is it just America?
This is just America.
Okay.
So,
I wonder if you think the numbers go up or down if it becomes global. I don't know.
There's those Eastern European countries that fully, like, the whole country believes in trolls and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like Romania believes in like fucking centaurs running around and shit.
You're your first thoughts. All of Romania believes
Every single
in
person there.
centaurs.
That's funny. 56% believes ghosts are spirits of the dead. That seems like a leading question.
Yeah,
I think
right.
Ghosts are real.
Isn't that the definition?
Well, I guess.
Do you live in ghosts or spirits of the dead?
23%
Be like, my spirits of the dead?
23% said energy imprints.
Energy what?
Imprints. Other dimension, 10% said, 7% said, only 7% said no such thing. 2% said demons, that was me, and 2% said hallucination.
Okay.
41%
Hallucination, of course I believe in
Everyone
that.
hallucinates.
41% of
Or
Americans believe in extrasensory perception, or ESP.
Okay.
So half the country believes in psychics.
Okay.
37% believe that houses can be haunted. 65% believe Ouija boards are dangerous.
See, I'd like to also see the ratings on Long Island Medium and contrast that to to these metrics here.
There's more.
How many is she convinced, you know?
That's true. So do you want to know how it works?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There's like a way that it works. I thought there was just like a vibe.
Yeah, well,
It's a feeling.
Look, an ignorant non-witch. I got this one from like Magifact or something that's really psychic. It's real scientific. But anyway, most psychics get answers to your questions through telepathy or clairvoyance. Both involve transferring information via senses that are beyond the physical, beyond what we are naturally accustomed to.
Love it.
All around. You know the Dolby Sound thing?
Yeah.
From AMC theaters? That's what it is.
Yeah.
We should do more physical stuff to get more people for the YouTube instead of just listening. This is becoming a physical.
It's a physical.
This
We're
is
going to do
visual
charades.
medium.
Just a silent episode.
On the Patreon, I'll show whole. Thank you.
That's tier 1, too. Don't get it twisted.
Tier 3 is Ben's hole.
That's $4 a month.
And no, I'm not tier 2. My hole will be the cover photo. That's just the introduction. All right, so telepathy.
We got big plans for this podcast.
Big plans for the Patreon. Telepathy mostly deals with human-to-human transfers, while a clairvoyant can also get information from objects, images, locations, and so on. That means you touch this mic stand, I go, and press this button.
Okay.
Oh, the people who touch and they, oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
those are visions.
Wow, that's interesting.
Psychics can also be gifted with intuition, mind reading, aura reading, and more. Gifts like these help psychics predict the future, tell you about your past, answer your questions, and communicate with those in the spiritual plane. But even beyond these gifts and abilities, psychics are differentiated based on the tools they use, as well as the types of readings they offer.
Okay.
So there's a lot of branches.
There's different branches. Let me tell you something. It's very ignorant to say that psychic is one thing. Okay? Psychics could be a lot of things.
I'm going to go
Get
ahead
it
and
through
say
your-
it's no thing.
Get it through your bigoted skull.
Ignorant. So there's different types of psychics. In particular, the most common are fortune tellers, predictors, telling the future. You know, they're using tarot cards. They're using crystal balls, astrology, numerology.
They're a front for
Even
some
your
business
palms.
down.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Palms. Yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of tell them how many grams of cocaine you want on their palm.
Yeah.
You just write it in there. You have psychic mediums. They specialize in communicating with the spiritual realm. They typically answer your loved ones who have passed away, which I think is, if it's fake, which most likely is, that's the most predatory, is it not?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yo, yeah, your dad says, hey. Totally.
He was like throwing a ball. Like, did you guys ever like play catch together or something? It's just like super generic
They
stuff.
can all be, though, pretty manipulative. I mean, what if it's like, invest in Apple because you're going to make a fortune?
That's just Nancy Pelosi. I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know why I went with Apple and Ron. I don't know. But like, because I'm just saying the future ones can be dangerous too. So so we got predicting the future ones. We've got accessing the dead.
We have remote viewers. These are specializing in locating lost items or loved ones from a distance.
Like keys?
No, I go to them. I'm like, I lost Mae.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they just find her, like, I guess, in a dumpster downtown.
Oh.
That seems right.
They can help you find whatever you've lost.
My keys?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Keys,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just a cleaning lady that comes over. She's like, I found it over here. And you're like, oh my God, it's magical.
And then finally, tarot readers. These tarot cards are used by most psychics, but some advisors specifically specialize in tarot readings. They answer a variety of questions based on the cards they pull. Remember that witch that dumped me after she read my tarot?
I do. And I don't understand, because isn't that just luck, like any card game, to get the cards that you get? You know what I mean?
It's not luck if you pretend that it's not.
Right.
If you pretend like it's magic.
And can tarot kind of intersect with the other ones? Because I feel like tarot card readers sometimes predict the future.
Fortune tellers and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
They're like,
Yeah, you're going to have 3 kids and one's going to shoot up a school or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's most.
Yeah.
In America, that's most fortune.
Right.
2 out of 3, good eggs.
Yeah.
Can't nail with everyone.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. So do you want to hear about the science of it all?
Yes.
Okay. I'm waiting for you guys to say no. I'm going to say it anyway.
No, I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay. Parapsychology, also called psi, PSI, like psi. Why are they not just calling it science but spelling it like psychic? That's kind of
Ooh,
a missed
that'd be fun.
opportunity. I know.
Yeah. We'll pitch it.
Yeah. Guys. It's the study of mental or psychic phenomena which can't be explained by the laws of science as we know them. It used to be a pretty common research subject among early formative psychologists. Freud studied it. William James, the founder of American academic psychology, studied it. And Harvard psychologist Hugo Münsterberg studied it.
You have Münsterberg.
Yeah, you're always talking about Münsterberg, but you leave out the psychic shit, don't you? Perhaps don't you? Perhaps the most
I like Münsterberg's later stuff. Yeah.
Perhaps the most famous modern day psi-friendly psychologist. Most of them are psi-anti-friendly. Like a lot of them get into it to disprove it. Darryl Bem, whose 2011 experiments inspired a crisis in his field. Some of his peers thought his paper was a hoax. Others took issue with his methods, which they admitted were technically correct. But if Bem could prove something, I used air quotes, something so outlandish as psychic ability with accepted social science.
Okay.
So this is the biggest big shot that believes in it.
Yeah, he really... There had to be something wrong with accepted social science methodology if they were able to. That's like literally the skeptics. They went and they looked at his methodology. He did like 9 or 10 different things where he tested different like methods of stuff, and a lot of them like had a little bit more than marginal kind of results.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, okay, this is it. So these guys responded being like, well, if it could prove if social science methodology, the ones that everyone uses, could prove psychic abilities, then there's something wrong with their methodology.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So
So-
it's unprovable then by
then
those
it's just
metrics.
So basically,
yeah.
the results automatically, you couldn't get there
Yeah,
because
that's
the
just
results are
unfair.
off.
You're moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
Sure. That's annoying.
Not fair. Another guy, though, in his new paper, parapsychology researcher Etzel Cardania analyzed psi-related research and came to the conclusion that Bem's results might not have been so crazy after all, huh? So
What is he testing specifically? Do you know? Like, what do the tests look
the
like?
tests were like focus groups. Like it was usually like different groups of people. So control group and people that believe that they could.
Yeah.
Other I remember one of them being like he put a one by one people into that was a sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
And they had to guess like videos that were being played in the other room
Oh,
that
wow.
they'd never seen before, and
Weird.
they would guess.
Wow,
and
that's
they would
hard.
Guess correctly and shit.
It's like a viral video. It's like, how about Charlie bit my finger? I guess you're right. Wow.
They're in the other room. They're like, you're watching 2 girls, 1 cup.
It's my favorite porn.
So I guess the problem is that no one can prove that he didn't butcher the results.
Well, yeah, because the problem
doctor,
the problem with both sides is, and this was talked about a lot too, is like either way, and this is I guess science. You go into it with a preconceived notion.
Mm-hmm.
That's also the problem with psychics. A lot of the people that go to psychics, they believe in the psychics, and psychics are just kind of reinforcing.
Asking the leading questions like, yeah, I had this person.
I should call.
They're just confirming their
right.
bias. It's what Donald Trump did for 4 years.
Right.
Beautifully.
I mean,
honestly.
he nailed it. Now that's a psychic. Cardania wrote in his paper that the strongest support for psi can be found in research which utilizes the Gainzeld procedure. We all know it. In which blindfolded subjects in a soundproof room are asked to describe a film clip they have not seen, which they're either shown after the fact or which is played simultaneously in another room. If experimental judges can use these descriptions to choose the specified clip from other distractor clips, this is considered positive evidence for psi. Startingly, meta-analyses of Gansfeld procedure studies show statistically significant support for this psychic effect.
Okay.
That'd be so lame, though, if that was your only psychic ability. If you just can predict where a movie is. Like,
I'm just in the other room, and I'm like, Kathy's watching the movie again.
All
right. Kathy's my roommate.
Cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag. I have a roommate. We haven't shown Hole yet. Whatever.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. So he concluded that existing meta-analyses
Analyses.
are supportive of the psi hypothesis.
Analripus.
Relax, man. And thus defends the legitimacy and importance of future research on the subject. Psi, writes Cardania, cannot be readily explained away by the quality of the studies, fraud, selective reporting, experimental or analytical incompetence, or other frequent criticisms. So
Okay.
he's like, you guys stop being such negative bitches. Start hopping on the psi wave.
And actually start reading these
Actual
articles.
Like I did the scientific shit.
Yeah.
And you still are spitting in my face.
I wonder who the first person to claim to be a psychic was, because that's a pretty good grift if you're just
I mean,
coming
he's
up with
gotta
that.
be
Christ
you know?
of Nazareth?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's got to be early in civilization.
No, I mean, you're talking about this has been around forever. I mean, talk about ancient Greeks and shit like that. Mm-hmm. They had oracles.
Yep.
They had
Oracle
literal,
of
like-
Delphi. Delphi?
Yeah, Delphi.
Yeah.
I know her. Oh, you know Delphi? All right. So this is fun, and this is now I was criticizing the skeptic researchers. Now I'm criticizing the psychics here.
Okay. Okay.
And this is from another like website that's very like magic friendly and psychic friendly. They're basically saying if you go to a psychic and it doesn't work, it's your fault if you're skeptical.
Okay.
So the accuracy of an experienced
So
psychic.
it's like, meaning like you didn't try hard enough?
Yeah, no,
You got to believe.
You weren't
in
like
order
aware and
you have to
like,
believe they can do it. So the
my
accuracy of an experienced psychic's reading can depend on how open-minded you are. Your willingness to actually
I'd
believe
fail.
that unnatural abilities exist. If you are overly skeptical and get a reading for the sole purpose of proving psychics are fake, there is a good chance your reading may be inaccurate. This is because Ben is blocking the transfer of energy and information.
That's so annoying. That's such
Yeah.
an annoying rule.
That's very annoying.
And in some cases, an extreme skeptic might even call a reading inaccurate even when it was clearly accurate.
Well, sure.
Liar.
You're a liar and a wet blanket. How about that?
How about that?
A liar and a wet blanket. That's a bad combination.
You're ruining this profession. So, experienced psychics can surprise you with vivid details about your life that you simply can't deny. Even when you try to block the energy, don't try to block it, it's coming through. Psychics are born with their gifts. In fact, many people believe that everyone is born with psychic abilities. Many of us just don't tap into them.
But that's kind of what I was asking before. So
Yes.
it's like, it's not like you're just born like this amazing psychic. You have
So,
to
a lot of people
put in your 10,000 hours.
Let's think about it.
Let's
Think about it. Have you ever had a dream that later came true?
Yes.
I have.
I have.
No,
I have-
my dreams do not come true.
Jews don't dream. How about what's how about what's popularly described as deja vu? You ever had deja vu?
Deja vu for sure. Yeah.
All right. Have you ever thought about someone, then instantly you get a text or a call from them?
Yeah.
Most people have
But usually I'm, like, going to meet up with them.
Most people have experienced some kind of psychic phenomenon, but the human mind has been trained to explain them away, especially when we become adults.
Want to know something really weird? So sometimes I'll dream about a conversation that I've never had, and then I'll have that same conversation.
Oh, I have that all the time.
It's so weird.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, and then as the person's saying the words to me, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God, it's happening, and then
Yeah.
I think something bad's gonna happen to me because it's like all connecting.
Yeah, it's weird
I don't
how
know.
random it is.
Yeah, it's so
just like,
random.
oh, and I had a carrot. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's the sentence.
I guess
Right.
I guess one thing I don't understand is how it's all related. So, like, let's take deja vu. Just because I've experienced deja vu doesn't mean that some person has the ability to predict my future.
Right.
Yeah.
So, way to try to ruin everything.
I'm asking. I'm genuinely. I
So-
feel like this thing has become like, if you question it at all, that means that I know you're just kidding, but like,
Yeah.
if you question it at all, then it's like, well, you're questioning it.
It's
so
actually-
the whole juju is off. And
It's the the people like the LGBT thing. Like if you make fun of gay people, you're probably gay. So Ben, you're psychic.
Right.
I think you're psychic, man.
It's all an act. Yeah.
So I will say that they also talk about the fact that like as kids we're kind of more open to this shit, and like if you have dreams about things later coming true, that's like shocks of clairvoyance. So some people, like psychics, they'll like lean into it. They open up their mind, body, spirit to this shit, and they get better on it because they focus on these skills.
Right.
And some people are more naturally inclined to it, I believe.
Is that also the same thing, like how usually when spirits visit a house, they'll go to the little kid because the little kid's
Right.
more susceptible to
Right.
it?
In Insidious.
Yeah, in Insidious.
Yeah, they go to
in
Dalton's
Annabelle.
room. And Annabelle.
And all these true...
Conjuring.
Yeah, all these
Did they just
very...
keep making the same movie?
Pretty much. And it was
I
a
love
damn
them.
good
They're
one.
movies.
You ever see that movie, Ben?
Which one?
All of them.
Any of them.
Conjuring I've seen. What was the first one?
Insidious?
No.
Insidious.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one.
That's
I
a
have
good
not
one.
seen.
It's actually a good movie.
It is.
You know what was the most scary, one of the scariest jump scares of all time? When the guy's behind him in the kitchen.
Ooh.
That face.
Oh.
Still think about it. All right. So you want to hear about some party poopers, some famous skeptics?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Benjamin Kirschenbaum.
Benjamin J. Kirschenbaum.
But I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what I'm that skeptical about. My questions are genuinely curious.
I like your questions. And I won't respond to them. So magician and renowned skeptic James Randay, or Randay.
That's a never. Usually those two words aren't put together.
Well, that's funny that you say that because magicians have often been used to disprove psychics because they can show like the same shit that they're doing using like the con man methods.
Right,
Magicians
right.
will be like, I can show you how to do this. Right
Yeah.
now.
And
You
you're
ever
saying
see
in a
Chris
magician-
Angel?
And you're saying the magician has a trick that is rooted in
You're right.
the real world.
Yeah, because like predicting shit and like that kind of stuff, which is kind of what psychics do. Like magicians can show you how to do that.
Right.
Except like some magicians, and a lot of magicians like Chris Angel won't tell you that it's not magic. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you. David Blaine, there's a reason why his hand disappeared under your shirt. Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
So you're saying
Dude, how does he stay in those water tanks that
I don't
long?
know.
I don't
David
get
Blaine's
it.
amazing. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Those big old eyes. All right, so James Randay, he passed away actually last October. In 1996, he famously offered $1,000 to anyone that could prove they had paranormal abilities. Over time, the prize money grew to $1 million.
Dang.
Even with that kind of money on the table, no entrant ever made it past the. I just had a stroke. Even with that $1 million on the table, no entrant ever made it past.
What is happening?
Nobody ever made it past what
The
point?
preliminary test.
Okay,
And what
thank
were the
you.
first tests?
A public list of the thousands of contestants lives on his foundation site.
Oh, that's embarrassing. You had to be.
You get publicly.
What an asshole.
shamed. And numerous paranormal powers were claimed by entrants. There were dowsing circles, energy healing, spirit reading, and communion with the dead. To ask her what was the test, I think he would devise like different tests for people based on their ability, and he was like very smug about it, being like, "Okay, well, this is a fair test, is it not?" Always
Dick.
doing this, you know what I mean? Always putting his hands together like that. But yeah, and he relished in it. But here's my argument, my counter to that would be, if you're a real psychic, do you want that kind of attention? It's a real ability. It's that old, can't tell anybody, the government's going to take it and put you in a line.
How about that fucking
The
blind?
CIA tried to do this for decades, and for all we
Yeah.
know, still is currently trying to do that.
But remember, there was like that blind lady, I think in Romania or someplace, some Eastern
Really?
European. Yeah,
Romania is the
really going
source of
hard.
everything.
But she predicted
sent off.
9/11. She
Psychics and
predicted,
gymnasts.
she predicted a bunch of crazy shit that came true.
But nobody talks about it.
I don't know.
Dr. Anthony Fauci had her killed.
There's also Nostradamus, right? That's the most famous
Oh, yeah.
seer predictor from
Of all time.
500 or 600 years ago.
Yeah. All right, so look who's on board. All right, so a recent study by researchers in Petaluma and La Jolla assessed whether mediums could tell what had caused a person's death. Here's the short of it. A control group of non-psychics performed better than self-professed mediums.
Are you
Right,
serious?
But that's my issue is that
embarrassing.
probably psychic people are like, but that's just because they
People had the latent ability.
Yeah,
they didn't know.
That's my issue with.
All right, and your
it's
ability stinks.
Yeah, and people on both sides of the argument probably do this. They're going to believe what they're going to believe, so they're going to
yeah.
make their own explanations for anything.
Right.
Do you want to hear how to spot the fakers?
Yes. Are they on TLC programs?
Yeah, they have big hair and call themselves a Long Island medium. So most fakes perform cold readings. Ben, get off your phone.
No, I was looking up Nostradamus.
That's just texting.
I'm not texting, I promise. Physician, reputed seer. We'll talk about it after.
Okay.
But there are some like crazy things that he
Who was
predicted.
Nosferatu?
Dracula.
Oh, that's vampire. Yeah.
Once again,
Let's get them
Romania.
Yeah,
Count Dracula. Yeah, Romania. Wow.
Let me tell you something. Nothing good happens there.
We should do an episode on Romania.
Yeah, just unsolved mystery. Is it real? Romania? Question mark.
This podcast becomes randomly country themed.
Yeah.
Brazil. But
So most fake psychics perform cold readings based on clues you give off. This could be your body language, clothing, ethnicity, and many other factors. Fake psychics use these signals to make guesses that are usually ambiguous enough to apply to most people in your situation. Many fraudulent... Yes, Jen?
So usually a psychic, even a real psychic, needs some sort of launching point. They're not just going to look at you immediately and be like, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen.
no,
these
this
are
is
the
a fake
fakers.
one.
These are the
Fake
fakers.
one.
Oh, I thought you said both.
To be like,
No,
oh, you're
no,
from
no,
New
no.
York. You look like this.
Most
I can
fakes
make
perform.
Okay.
Yeah.
But reals,
Real...
Reels just
they'll
go
touch
in.
you. It depends what
They'll say someone came into the room. Do you have a brother? A fucking
Yeah, I'm
what-
sensing a woman. You've met a woman before in your lifetime. Yeah. and her name started with a letter. Yeah.
What letter
Yeah.
was it? M. Okay, M. That was Mary.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. That's actually
yeah.
what I'm seeing.
was that a
Yeah.
character you were just doing? Mafia psychic?
Yeah. Is it good? Should I start doing it on stage?
That's not bad. That's a character.
Mafia psychic.
That's funny.
I think you might get whacked if you don't know it.
Way.
He says, watch your back.
Guys, follow me on TikTok. I'm going to start doing that.
Mafia psychic.
My is like, I just blow up because of that online. That would be the funniest.
That would
would
be
be
great.
And that would prove you have psychic fucking abilities. Because
Yeah.
you saw that that's what was going to do it.
Your SNL audition. That's your one big thing.
Yeah, like I would ever audition for SNL.
Not
Please,
hack
I
fucking
100% would. Many fraudulent psychics are exposed sooner or later. A popular example is Ms. Cleo, the self-proclaimed Jamaican mystic who flooded late-night television with ads about her
Right.
psychic abilities. Not only did she turn out to be a fake psychic, but she was also a fake Jamaican born in California.
Oh,
my God.
She ended up settling out of several courts in different states for her fraudulent practices.
that's embarrassing. Why did she think? You know what's funny? In my mind, I was like, just because she's from Jamaica, it does seem like a little bit more legit.
And that's
they're more like
exactly it.
yeah.
'Cause people are stupid.
People are stupid.
Oh, Jamaican, yeah, they have that.
Yeah, they smoke weed and shit. They're
There's
like
magic there.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to end it by explaining to you. Here's the thing: there are different types of psychics, and to put them all into one box, like Ben here wanted to do, is actually setting them back decades. So I'm actually going to tell you.
That was the big
You're
threat you
setting
made
them
to me.
back. You're
I'm
setting them. You're
back.
setting back psychics. So they want to be recognized how they should be, how nature has made them.
Okay, so explain.
So this is the psychic spectrum.
Okay.
Fundamentally, psychic skills are defined by an innate ability to process sensory data, both tangible and intangible stimuli, on an extremely deep emotional, physical, or spiritual level. Of course, this is a rather broad definition. Because extrasensory gifts vary greatly in intensity and application, it's best to imagine psychic skills on a spectrum.
Okay.
So some people have more psychic ability, some people have
I
less.
guess if you want to be ignorant about it. It's a spectrum.
That's what I'm saying. Some have less and some have more
No,
abilities.
you're talking about different kind of, different levels.
What I just said is in no way derogatory.
Yeah.
I don't
I
understand.
don't know. I think it's the way you're saying it.
It's the way I'm saying
I think
it.
it's the way you're saying it.
But I'm saying there's the best skeptic versus he's got a little
think
bit. He
it's
can
more-
predict,
No, there's different categories of
Spectrum
There's
is
different
meaning more like,
categories,
yeah.
but one could be better than another person. Like
Of
one could be
course.
more tapped in. Yes,
I mean,
that's
in
what-
any group of
It's exactly what I just said.
What
And to
Mae
your
said-
reaction.
What
of
I'm saying makes a lot of
course-
sense,
of
though.
course,
what
dear
Mae
Mae.
said is making sense to me. I don't know what you were saying, but Mae has said something good.
with a lot of conviction.
Yeah, no, I like the way she said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Fair enough.
Okay. Do you want to hear about this? You said you have those dreams?
What is
Yes.
this Socratic method we're using the whole time? You lead into every new topic. with a
I'm
question.
teaching you my ways as a psychic. At the end of this, you're going to be able to turn around and do some psychic shit. I've actually been teaching you this whole
No,
time.
I was just asking about the questions. You use the question method.
Do
I'm
you
not saying
want to
I'm
hear the
against
reasoning behind it? All right. Sorry, I heard Kathy cackling. The fastest way, I have a roommate. The fastest way to tap into your psychic abilities is to cultivate a healthy relationship with your subconscious mind. You think you can do that? Dreams are a great pathway into this realm, the dream realm.
Okay.
They symbolize the alternative reality to our waking world. Free of physical constraints, we can move effortlessly between... There's an error. I hate when there's a typo. It really makes me not root for these guys.
Yeah, it's tough.
There's an error in their website.
Yeah, we can move effortlessly,
Well, I'm sure
move
they
between
predicted it.
spaces. Oh, okay, so during this is actually the plot of Insidious: exploring foreign lands, traveling to bygone eras, and encountering otherworldly spirits. That's literally how Dalton gets last in the spirit world.
Oof, yeah, disaster.
It's terrifying. Dreams are a portal, and the more acquainted we become with this subconscious realm, the more easily we are able to access the full spectrum of our psychic gifts. Be sure to always keep a pen and paper close to your bed. As you become increasingly comfortable with your subconscious, you will begin to realize the incredible fluidity between worlds.
Okay.
Mic drop. That's it. Now do you get it?
I would also add probably that your dreams might not literally, I mean, this is again where it gets into gray area, but maybe your dream is like the biblical story, the Joseph when he's, you know what I'm talking about? Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Dreamcoat.
Yeah, so this is Old Testament, like even before Jesus, he's predicting with his dreams. The Pharaoh likes him because he can predict to the Pharaoh what's going to happen. So the Pharaoh's like, you know, even though you're Jewish, I'm going to be nice to you. Mm-hmm. But his dreams are not like, oh, there's going to be a famine. There's going to be, you have to interpret the dreams. He's like, I dream that the cow is dying, which means this, which means this, which means this. So is that sometimes the case? Like
more a prophecy situation.
Like a prophecy,
self-fulfilling.
It takes interpretation of the dream. It's not like the dream is literally telling you the future.
That's actually really interesting. Very, that almost sounded like, I swear it was like Mae was talking through you. That was wild. I will say, like, I think you're right in terms of, like, quality of psychic when it comes to that kind of stuff. I think, like, being able to read your dreams. Like, maybe anybody has dreams and you can kind of figure shit out from it, but it's about being able to read that. That might be a question to ask.
But I guess what I'm saying, and this is why it's, like, in the gray area. So, for example, if I have a dream that I'm going to get an A on a test.
Right.
And then I never get an A on a test. I don't even take a test, but I succeed in some other way. You could be like, oh, the A on the test was predicting it, not literally, but it was predicting that I would succeed, and therefore it's the predict. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
right. Well, it's like even make it simpler because that was a stupid way of saying it. But, like
a really braggy, we get it kind of way.
You did good in school, man.
You succeeded. Okay.
I would say the flip would be.
How about this? You have a dream that a glass breaks, and then the next day you have a breakup. And you're like, the glass breaking.
Well, no, I was interpreting it more as like, it's kind of like, it's almost like a trap, like a prophecies or something like that. Because like, it's like someone tells you, you're going to miss that test. And then you get so nervous and worked up about it, you actually skip the test.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're going to do bad on the test or something like that, where it's like, oh, then it becomes like you did bad on the test because you skipped the test because you thought you were going to do bad on the test.
Right.
So it's like, are you just getting fucking tricked into it?
Yeah, there's that.
Which is also a big plot line of the film Encanto, out now on Disney+. It's really good. Very good film. It's real. There's two songs in particular off that motion picture soundtrack.
We should get paid for advertising
playing in my
obscure movies.
Yeah. Obscure? That's a Disney Pixar classic.
Yeah. That's the first thing that people think of when they think of Disney Pixar.
Okay. I think it's a beautiful film. It's wonderful. You should watch it.
Is it actually a famous movie?
No, it just came out. But
Oh.
actually, the whole plot of it is like, it's like this magic family ran away from like a war or something, and they all got blessed with different abilities, different psychic abilities.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Ties in perfectly. My week has
These
all been
movies
leading
are
into this.
Dark. Escaping a war. It's all
That's
those
just,
Pixar.
but it's always in the
children's
first
thing in general.
It's in the first 5 minutes where it's like somebody dies like as a cutout. You know what I mean? There's a silhouette of somebody getting axed.
Coco was like all death and stuff.
I didn't watch Coco.
Why did you watch Coco?
Cacao, actually.
Yeah.
I watched it. I don't remember.
When you were taking out your high school girlfriend.
Well, that means I'm young. Oh, no. I guess it means... I see what you're saying.
Yeah. No, that's not what it means at all. Yeah.
I don't know why I saw Coco.
Yeah, just on your leisurely time.
I didn't like the movie at all.
He went to the movie theater to see Coco, just families in bed. It's weird, though, that a lot of people have similar dreams. Like, a lot of people have the dream that where your teeth are falling out.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me, that people have the same very strange dreams.
I always have the teeth falling out.
Really?
Always. Or
You know what it means?
It's loose.
It means you feel out of control in your life.
Yeah, but that's not what everything means.
Yeah.
It's like
I guess you're right.
That's they all kind of come back to that.
That's true.
anxiety.
Yeah.
Always get lost in the zombie apocalypse. That's like
Seriously?
when it comes back. Yeah.
Oh, no,
I don't
get
get
that.
lost. I end up betraying the group that I'm with every time.
You become a zombie, you're saying?
No, I betray them. As a
betray?
human.
Oh, you betray
The other group of
you
survivors.
betray the other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
I usually kind of weasel my way. It's a long dream. So there's plot to it. I weasel my way to the top
Wow.
of the group. No, with not skills, just with kind of wiles.
Right.
And then I end up pushing somebody down in front of something, or
You think you'd be a good contestant on Survivor?
I'd get it done.
Yeah.
I'd get it done. I would win. Just fun alliances. Again, I can't be living in the dirt and shit.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't think they actually do.
Yeah, they go to bed. What? At
I mean,
the
that'd be amazing
Yeah.
if not only you win, but you get them to like build you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that they go home to the Ritz or like at least the Holiday
mean,
Inn,
the
and they're like, "This is
producers-
roughing it still." You know what I mean?
They put them in a Motel 6 out there.
Yeah, they're like, "It was a hard 3 months." Let me tell you something.
Worse than the dirt. Okay, so back to the psychics. You believe?
I want to.
That's nice.
I want to.
And because of that, it will work.
Oh,
Ben?
how easy that is.
No, I don't think I do. Honestly, I don't.
It is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I would say 99.9% of people I don't believe are real psychics, but then there are some people that are really fucking good at it. And
I think
it's
that,
like,
because I do believe in intuition, instincts, like,
absolutely.
very base level kind of things like that. So if you think of that, and you think of how skills in humans, some people are really good at things, like just weirdly really good at things. What if someone's really weirdly good at intuition? That's how I've worked my way into it. It's real. Superpowers are real. I might have them.
no.
There you go.
And there you go. That's definitive.
Okay.
Good subject.
Yeah, fun times.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was good.
And we should all go to a psychic together. Because
Actually,
I am curious
that's
to
a
actually
very good
see-
idea.
See, this is what's
Do you
funny.
think our podcast will do well?
But this is what's funny about psychics and like, okay, I would say to you guys right now, no, I don't believe in them. But then if there was a psychic in front of me, I'd be like, oh God, what if she says something bad? And it's like, if I don't believe in them, I don't believe in them. But
Yes.
if they're like, if they
And
say something
religion's
horrible,
same thing, right?
yeah,
Where you get
exactly.
freaked out, where it's like,
Right.
well, you're going to hell, and I'm like, I don't believe
And I'm
in
like,
hell,
oh.
but I don't want to
risk
risk it.
That's why a lot of elderly people like randomly get back into religion because they're like, oh God.
They're knocking on the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
All right. We were at it.
We were.